tell you guys, I dropped weight. I was the skinniest I have ever been in my life. Like, when I tell you, the people that used to make fun of me for being big are the same ones that are asking me,
Kamiye, how did you lose weight? Or give me tips or blah blah blah.
Hi guys, it's me, your girl, Kametanoia, and you guys, can we get into this lighting? Like, I'm so sorry, I'm just so obsessed with this sunset lamp that I literally had to use it as my lighting today. So, you better enjoy it. Anyways, it's me, Kametanoia, and today I am back with another video. And today, it's a bit of a different video. It's a video I've been wanting to do for a while, and it's my weight loss transformation video. And today I'll basically be talking you guys through how I went from this to this, basically how I look right now. And yeah, if you guys are interested in seeing how I managed to lose almost 20 kilograms, then keep watching. So in 2020, during the COVID period, I moved from Rwanda and came to Kenya. And I don't know, when I came to Kenya, like, everything changed. I feel like my mindset also changed because I was like, okay, I'm overweight, I'm going to a new country, let me try and lose weight, again. I was like, okay, I'll get to that new country, let me basically have a fresh start, and let me try and work on myself physically. So when I first came here, like, I was eating lots of junk because, new country, I was excited, like, the food here is like really good, so like I was just eating and eating and eating. And then eventually, I don't know what happened, but like eventually I lost my appetite. Like, my appetite decreased significantly. Like, I don't even know what happened till date, but my appetite just decreased. Like, I didn't have an appetite to like eat as much. Like, I was still eating junk and still eating, I was still big, but like my appetite decreased. And like till date, I don't know what caused it, but my appetite decreased. And slowly by slowly, I made like very like minute changes, and like one of them being the fact that I cut out dairy for a bit. I cut out dairy for about like 4 months, and like when I cut out dairy, like my gut health it really improved, to put it simply, because I was someone that would always have stomach issues, I would always be in pain, I would always have gas. But as soon as I cut out dairy, like all of these issues, the pain, the gas, the constant bloating, like I wouldn't say that they left completely, but they were less frequent, if that makes sense. So if that works for you, I guess cutting out dairy could play a role, not in weight loss, but like in gut health, which is also something that's also very important. So yeah, that was one of the things I did. Okay, so I'd like to believe that my weight loss happened in 2 main phases, and we're gonna talk about phase 1 right now. So after I moved to Kenya, I told you guys, I said I want to be a new person, basically. So I made a whole meal plan, which I will insert on the side. I actually made it when I was still in Rwanda. Yeah, I made a whole meal plan. I was like, this is what I'm gonna eat. Like, I even meal prepped. My mom and I, like, we bought vegetables, meat, a bunch of stuff we cooked. Like, we bought bowls, like we packed them in bowls, put them in the freezer, blah blah blah. And like, I followed through with it for a bit. I was so consistent with it, and like I was also doing online school at this time, so it was kind of easy for me to, work my way around like the whole thing, because I wasn't going to school. I didn't have to worry about getting up early to cook, yada yada. I was in the house. So I was basically meal prepping, and like I was eating these things, and like they were balanced meals. Like you guys saw, like things like chicken, rice, vegetables, things that I liked, things that I enjoyed, and like they were seasoned well, so like I didn't find it so hard to like stick with it. So yeah, so that was one thing that I started doing. I followed through with it for like a month, and I saw changes. I saw quite a few changes. My mom said she saw changes as well. I think I got bored of the diet or something, so like I fell off, and like bear in mind, like, because my appetite was significantly smaller, my portions were also smaller. So even when I was eating junk, I wasn't eating big portions of it. I was eating smaller portions of it. And yeah, I started seeing, like, and fun fact, like, I actually didn't even notice that I was losing weight. Like, I didn't know. The thing about weight loss is that you won't know. Like, if you decide to make it a lifestyle and like just take the conscious decision to engage in a healthier lifestyle, it will become a part of you, and like it will reach the point where you drop so much weight and you won't even realize it, because you're not too focused on losing weight, but rather you're focused on building a healthier lifestyle. So like, yeah, I was eating normally. Like, I'd say I was eating normally. Like, my diet didn't consist of a lot of veggies and fruits, but like I was eating normally. I wasn't eating the best. I was eating normally but not healthy, if that makes sense. I was still eating like lots of carbs, lots of junk, etc. So like, I was okay. I wasn't big, wasn't small. I was just okay. So yeah. So in about July of 2021, last year, I went to Nigeria, and like, the food in Nigeria is a different kind of delicious. So like, I was eating my way through everything, through agege bread, through suya, through all of those delicious and unhealthy Nigerian staple dishes. I was eating my way through everything, and so I came back in about August of 2021, and I'll insert an image of how I looked when I gotten back. And obviously there I wasn't big. I feel like how I am now is how I was like in that picture. But I was like, you know what, let me take the conscious decision to lose more weight. And I also want to talk about body dysmorphia for a bit, but I'll get into that a bit later. Like, looking at that picture now, I honestly wasn't that big, but because of body dysmorphia, I thought I was big, so I was like, I have to go on another diet. So what I'm about to get into, and like, disclaimer, I'm not a health professional, I'm not a nutritionist, I'm not a doctor. This is simply what worked for me, and what worked for me might not work for you, but I feel like there are a few tips here and there that you can incorporate in your lifestyle that would most likely bring you positive changes. But again, don't copy everything I did, because we're all different at the end of the day. So after I got back from Nigeria, I'm like, okay, let me make the conscious decision to lose some more weight, because I was big. Body dysmorphia. Anyways, so I decided to do something very stupid, something that worked for me, something that I didn't know was stupid at the moment, but looking back at it now, it was very stupid. So I decided to start counting calories, and counting calories is not what's stupid, but it was how I counted calories. I decided that I was only going to eat 1,000 calories every day, and I was very intentional about it. I started in about August, and I didn't stop until about December. So 4 months of calorie counting, 4 months of 1,000 calories every day. And obviously I wasn't perfect with it, like every single day, like I wasn't, but like, let me say a good 90-95% of the time I would eat 1,000 calories every single day. I would go between 1,000 and 1,200. So like 1,200 was my max. So like, I would count my calories, like we have a scale in the kitchen. I would measure food, like I would constantly be looking at the nutritional value on the back of packets, something that I never even used to pay attention to when I was a lot bigger. So like, I would constantly be looking like at the nutritional value. Oh,
How many calories is this? Oh, how many calories?
How much of this can I have before it exceeds my calorie limit? Blah blah blah. Like, I was so conscious of what I was eating, so conscious of what I was putting into my body. Like, at a point, like, I stopped eating my mom's food. Like, I wasn't eating my mom's food at all, because I was like, she uses too much oil, she blah blah blah. So I started cooking for myself. Like, I would always make my own meals, like, and when I would ask my mom to cook for me, I'd be like, please don't add any butter, don't add oil, like only add a very 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 small amount of oil. And like, it was crazy. I was eating such disgustingly small portions. Like, if I can find any images, I'll insert them on the side. But my portions of food were so small. Like, I was just barely eating. Like, I would eat a very small portion of, say, like how my diet would go was, or my a day eating a day of eating would go was, I would eat something like oatmeal in the morning, and then I would eat something like pasta and vegetables and meat in the afternoon. I also started taking my own food to school. Then I would eat something like rice, meat, and veggies when I got home. And it wasn't even bad. Like, obviously, this was good enough, this was healthy. But regardless, my portions were crazy. My portions were crazy. Like, I don't know how, but it was sustainable for a while because I didn't get hungry. It's not like I was eating and then I was starving myself. Like, this this little food that I was eating was genuinely like sat it was genuinely satisfying me, if that makes sense. So I don't know, but like I did that for a while, and like come to think of it, it wasn't the worst idea. But like the 1,000 calories thing wasn't a good idea. So I did it for a while, and when I tell you guys, I dropped weight. I was the skinniest I have ever been in my life when I was eating 1,000 calories every single day. I dropped so much weight. It was so obvious. Everyone that would see me would be like, Kamiye, you have lost so much weight. And the funny thing is, like, I would constantly like video myself. Like, I'll see if I can find a video to insert on this side. But I was constantly videoing myself because, like, the days I would fall off, I'd be like, oh my gosh, what if I've gained weight? Let me go video myself. And then I'll be like, oh my gosh, my stomach looks a bit bigger, my hands look a bit bigger, my face looks a bit bigger, blah, blah, blah. And when I look back at those videos now, I was like, what was I thinking? I was so skinny. I was a stick. I have never been that skinny in my entire life. What was I thinking? Body dysmorphia is such a powerful and horrible thing as well. So yeah, I was eating 1,000 calories every single day. And then after Christmas Day, like I started, getting tired of this 1,000 calories thing. So I don't know how I found out about this website, but I found out about a website. I'll insert a link to it below, and I'll insert some screenshots of the website. But basically how this website works is you insert some information about yourself, so your weight, your height, your gender, your activity level, whether that's moderate or you live a sedentary lifestyle, meaning you don't exercise at all, or you engage in very intensive exercise frequently, and it tells you how many calories you should eat per day if you want to maintain your weight, gain weight, lose weight rapidly, or gain weight rapidly. So I found out about this website, and like I was like, okay, I put in all my details. They gave me a number. I think it was 1,300 or 1,400 calories per day. But like I was kind of consistent with it. Like I was kind of consistent with it. So yeah, I was still, I wasn't as skinny as I was when I was eating 1,000 calories per day, but I was at a good enough weight, a comfortable enough weight for me. And it made me happy. I was very happy. I would also like to say that exercise played less than 1% of a role in my whole weight loss journey. I've had so many exercise phases, like including a Chloe Ting one during quarantine. Shout out to Chloe Ting. Shout out to her. It's amazing. And Emmy Wong as well. But like, I feel like your diet is way more important than any exercise you may decide to engage in. So basically, exercise didn't really play a role in my whole weight loss journey. I'd also like to go back to the whole calorie counting thing for a bit. Calorie counting is very important, but at the same time, you need to bear in mind that you should also focus on what you're putting into your body and not just the calories, because you can eat junk food. You can eat junk food and lose weight. You can eat junk food every day and lose weight, as long as you're eating less than the required calories for you to consume in order to gain weight. As long as you're eating less than that, despite what you eat, a burger, a salad, whatever, you're gonna lose weight regardless. So yeah, you can eat burgers every day and lose weight. Is that something I would recommend doing? No, because yes, you might lose weight, but your gut health is not going to be the best it can be. And like, gut health is also something that's very important, because a lot of the times, like, our stomachs look bigger than they actually are, not because our stomachs are actually big, but because we're not using the toilet as frequently as we should be, and because a lot of different things are accumulating in our stomach as a result of us having bad gut health. So it's also very important to, yes, like, focus on the calories as well, but try to get healthier things in, if that makes sense. Something I did was volume eating. So instead of like eating unhealthy things, I would eat more healthy things, and like, they would keep me fuller for longer because I was eating more, yes, but I was consuming less calories, if that makes sense. Another very important, very vital habit that I implemented that I believe played over 70% of a role was eating balanced plates of food. Before I lost weight, my plate was basically, on my plate you would basically see 98% rice and then 2% protein, so a big bowl of rice and then a piece of chicken. Rice is healthy if eaten in moderation, but when not eaten in moderation, it can be quite high in calories. So what I would do is, there's a whole rule where like you make 50% of your plate veggies, and I think 25 protein, 25 carbohydrates. I like carbohydrates, so I didn't do that. But basically, I would make a very decent portion of my plate, like half, or sometimes more than half, sometimes less than half, but a very decent portion of my plate would be vegetables, whether they would be steamed or baked or grilled or boiled. However, like, I would eat things like salad, carrots, peas, and trust me, vegetables are not bad. Like, trust me, they're not bad. Just season them well and you enjoy them. So I'd make like a decent portion of my plate vegetables, and then a decent portion carbs, so something like potatoes, pasta, rice. But I would always ensure that I would have more veggies on my plate than I did carbs, and in the event that I didn't have more veggies than carbs, I would ensure that I had an equal amount of vegetables and carbs on my plate. So that's what I would do, and then I would have a portion of meat as well. The portion of meat or protein would, I think it was generally smaller than my portion of vegetables, but I think it was the same size as my portion of carbs, but smaller than my portion of vegetables. So vegetables were the majority, and then the carbs and the protein were equal. I would just always ensure that my plate was balanced. I'd have some sort of balance on my plate. Like, you wouldn't see me with a huge portion of rice and then like a tiny portion of vegetables. If anything, it was the other way around. So a huge portion of vegetables, tiny portion of carbohydrates. So that played a vital role, like eating decent portions. Like, I wouldn't eat like a thief, and like, yeah, like you wouldn't see me eating mountains of rice, mountains of pasta like I did in the past. But that's basically what I did. So in a nutshell, what saved the day for me was, 1, balanced eating, so balancing out my plate. 2, counting calories. And 3, eating everything I wanted to eat, but in moderation. Like, I would still have my days where I would eat junk food, but I wouldn't go overboard with it like I would have in the past, where I would have sat down and eaten the entire pantry of food. I would eat junk food, I would eat whatever I wanted to eat, but I'll always ensure that I did it in moderation, and like, I would always ensure that I ate something healthy after or before that to kind of like balance it out, if that makes sense. Another important thing I did was eating breakfast, eating a healthy feeling breakfast. One of my most common breakfast meals was oatmeal, and oatmeal is so satiating, it's so filling. So like, whenever I'd eat oatmeal, like, I'd be full for like longer periods of time, and like, I wouldn't eat until hours later. When I was eating things like cornflakes, for example, in the morning, something that's not very high in fiber, like a few hours later, like, or even minutes later, I'd find myself like reaching out for a snack, or like, and like the thing about snacking is that it builds up, like those calories build up so fast. So something that I recommend doing is eating whole, healthy, filling meals when you're hungry, rather than snacking throughout the day, because these meals, like the calories in these meals build up like less quick than snacking throughout the day will build up. So if you're hungry, just eat a meal, and if you want a snack, then eat one, but try and snack in moderation. Another thing I did was I would use less oil in my food. So like I was using I would measure the amounts of oil I would use, the amounts of butter I would use, and like I was very like intentional about how much butter and oil I would put in my food, because oil and butter are very high in calories. So eating large amounts of them, like you can literally have a healthy meal like veggies, but you may decide to add a lot of butter to them, and then that just makes the calories in that meal fly through the roof. So be careful when you're adding oil and butter to your meals, because they're very high in calories. And yeah, I would also measure out my meals, like, and I would also like use like the internet a lot. I would search up, how many calories are in 100 grams of this. So like I would measure that, like I would eat, say, so amount of this, so amount of rice, so amount of chicken. Like I would just do a lot of research, and please season your food, like, and make it taste good. Like if your healthy food doesn't have to be boring, just season it and like cook it well, and you enjoy it. The moment you decide that you're not going to season your food, or you're not going to cook your food well, you're not going to enjoy eating healthy, you're going to give up on it. I'll also love to do videos where I like cook meals, or like I show you guys the meals that I ate to lose weight. If you guys want to see a video of the meals that I ate, or the things that I ate, the snacks that I ate, the meals that I ate, the breakfast that I ate to lose weight, I will 100% do a video solely based on that for you guys. So just let me know in the comments. But yeah, that's basically what I did to lose weight. Like in a nutshell, these quick fix diets, these weight loss teas, they don't work. They're all a scam. The only way to lose weight is to take it slow and steady, and to adapt a lifestyle of healthy eating majority of the time, or at least more than half is majority. But anyways, majority of the time, try your best to eat healthy and take it one day at a time. Weight loss isn't linear. You can't expect to follow through with this diet, or follow through with healthy eating as soon as you start it. You're gonna have your days where you're not in the mood to make vegetables, where you're not in the mood to eat a balanced meal, where all you want is just carbs. Like you just want to eat ice cream that day, just want to eat pasta that day, and that's okay. But just ensure that you keep it to a minimum. Try your best to keep things to a minimum. Weird thing about me is like I don't really like fruits. I'm more of a vegetable person. Whenever I tell that to people, they look at me like, Kamiye, you're crazy. But I also like incorporating veggies into a lot of my meals, like did wonders for me. Like I said, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a professional. If you do feel the need to go see a professional, go see one. But in a nutshell, this is everything I did to lose weight, and I hope that you can pick up on some of these tips. And if you do want to start a weight loss, or even a weight gain journey, or a weight maintenance journey, I wish you all the best. I want to tell you that you can do it. I never thought I was going to lose weight. I never, like at a point I'd even given up. I was like, you know what, I'm big, whatever. I'm big, I didn't kill somebody. It's not a crime to be big. But I eventually lost the weight, which I'm so happy about. So yeah, if you want to do something, just do it. Like the hardest part to this weight loss journey is starting and remaining consistent. Once you start and you're consistent, I promise you, my sister or my brother, you will see results. You'll be confused. Like when I tell you, the people that used to make fun of me for being big, are the same ones that are asking
me, Kamiye, how did you lose weight? Or give me tips or blah blah blah.
The people that used to comment on my weight and just make me feel so insecure and horrible about how I looked are the same ones that are asking me to give them weight loss tips. Like, anyway, so you can do whatever you want to do as long as you put your mind to it. If you want to see the video of all the meals I ate, please comment that down below. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to share it with all your friends, family members, loved ones. Subscribe and comment. Please comment. I love interacting with you guys. And yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye for now. AP, it called me